And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. In this segment, we're going to go one-on-one with Aquinas boys basketball coach David Johnson. There he is, and this is a picture from the Falcons competing at the Capistrano Valley Christian Tournament, which had a lot of great teams from across Southern California. And guess what? The Falcons won the whole thing. Kashmir Foster was the tournament MVP, and the Falcons really picking up a big win. 47-42 was the final score in that championship game. So now the Falcons will turn their attention to the big Tarkanian Classic tournament in Las Vegas. That is a very big deal. We are excited to catch up with Coach Johnson to talk about the tournament win, a very strong start for the team this year, and now going to Las Vegas to try to win another tournament title. And now joining us here on the show, he is the head boys basketball coach at Aquinas High School, the great David Johnson. And Coach, man, congrats on the great start again for the Falcons, coming off a big tournament title, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But going into the season, how excited were you to get this group back and the expectations that you might have for this group, considering sounds like you got a good thing going so far this year?
You know, I was excited. I was just at a point where I knew those kids had needed a year under the system or two. This year, they really buying in. They understanding what we're looking for. We're very excited, what's going on for this year.
So, Coach, when you go to a tournament like this, the Capo Valley Christian Tournament, and there's some really good teams there, what can this do in terms of just confidence for a team just trying to maybe find some momentum before you get to league play? I mean, obviously, you go to play to win the game, but when you go to tournaments, are you trying to maybe work on your rotation, like work on the lineup and get some guys some playing time? So you're trying to do some other things too, but to get the win as well and win the tournament title, that's a big deal, right, for a team early on in the season?
Yes, all those things. What we try to do, what I try to do, I try to go to that tournament to get better, to get the rotations in. Also playing against different styles, because one thing we found out last year, we went down there to Orange County and played San Juan Hills, and they played a different style, and I wanted to make sure if we ever get in that situation again, we'd be ready for it.
All right, Coach, so let's talk about that tournament. Yes. You guys win the championship. You beat Capo Valley Christian in the finals. What kind of caliber of competition did you guys see at that tournament, and were you maybe pleasantly surprised that you guys came out on top?
It was some good talent. I mean, it's a good coaching. The Capo Valley Christian had had some players, they was ranked number like 15 in Division I, and for us, we was down by 16. We was down with 16 going into halftime. We came back and stepped our game up and they scored like maybe 3 points in the fourth quarter. And I didn't even know that, I was just so focused on trying to get the kids to, do the right things. And it's exciting. I'm happy for the kids.
Coach, how many times, maybe this has never happened, but has there ever been a game where you're just so focused on, coaching up the kids and making, like you said, making sure they're doing the right things on the court that you forget to actually look up at the scoreboard like, oh, wait, when did we take the lead? Like, what happened? When did we come back and grab the lead from these guys? Because like you said, just focus on making sure they're doing the little things and watching play by play as opposed to just scoreboard watching in a game.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get you get yourself caught up in that situation sometimes. Because you're sitting there, it's a chess match. Everything's a chess match. What I tell the coaches, we in a chess match. So I got to make what's my next move. So by the time I look up, I say, oh, well, we right in this thing now. So let me get my composure, get it together there.
Well, Coach, in that championship game, it was 47-42. So that's low scoring for a high school basketball game. So when you look at this year's team, would you say that, they're going to kind of hang their hat on the defensive end? Like you guys are going to do a really good job of keeping teams, low scoring, and as opposed to maybe, going out every night and having like 85-82 games. It's going to be more of like in the 40s or around 50 because you guys are just really going to buckle down on the defensive end.
Well, that's what we kind of put our stamp on, the defensive end, because defense brings you offense. We started off, that game, we couldn't hit a pea in the ocean. If we going in, coming out, so we struggled the first half. But after we calmed down, and we like I always tell them, if we could play defense and rebound, and we could be in every game. So now they had a point of their mindset like, okay, defense is our staple. So This year, luckily enough, we've been playing solid. I mean, I think the highest we gave up maybe 57 this year, and that was early, in the first two games. So uh, we know if we play defense, we can be in every game.
Coach, is there a number in your head that you think of like, okay, like 50 is the level. Like if we keep a team under 50, we're probably going to win that game. If an opponent, if we can keep them under 50, is there a certain number that you try to keep an opponent under, knowing that, okay, we're going to score enough to beat a team if we can just hold them under 50 or 45 or whatever that number might be?
Yeah, because you try to be a little stingy on the defensive end. You say, hey, if we can give up 45, 50, we right there. We in the game. So anything less, it's just gravy. So yeah, you kind of put just there about 50 to 49, around in there. But it's hard to do sometimes.
Well, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going back to your CIF Southern section, your championship game against King High School in Riverside. I think that was like a 40-39 game. So I get the feeling like your coaching style, your strategy really hasn't changed, right? Like you kind of get in these low-scoring battles. You guys are going to work hard on the defensive end. It's kind of that same Aquinas team. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, you know what? It is. It's kind of, and my style is not really slow the ball down or do those type of things. It's just a situation where we grind so much on the defensive end. Sometimes it takes out on the offensive end. And I know defense brings your offense, but if we're not pushing the ball, it kind of slows things down. But I just know defense going to win games. And defense and a little bit of basketball IQ that helps.
So, Coach, you get the Capo Valley Christian Championship, and now you're going to Las Vegas to play in the Tarkanian, which is another big tournament. What are you hoping to see from your team in Las Vegas at this tournament?
Grow as a team and get better, because this last week I saw us grow. I mean, I saw us get better. It was you could just, when you've been around guys long enough, you can see like, okay, these guys getting it now. They feeling, they understanding what the coaching staff want, and I want to give a big shout out to my coaching staff. I mean, those guys putting so much work and getting there in the morning, doing individuals, doing all the stuff behind the scenes, that let me just concentrate on coaching, and now I appreciate those guys so much.
Coach, what are the expectations? I know it's early on in the season, but maybe even before the season began, what did you feel like the expectations were for this year's squad? Did you feel like, hey, we've got enough talent, if we put it together, we can make another CIF run, Ambassador League title? Like, what are some of the goals that you maybe had for this year's team?
Yeah, you hit on the nose. We when you taste it a little bit, we got it and we tasted it, and we kept telling the kids, like, hey man, it's the best feeling in the world. If you put in the time and you're willing to work, good things gonna happen. And that's our goal to get. We moved up. We're in Division 2, way 2A. Yeah. So now we moved up, and it's get tougher, but it doesn't change. We still chasing it. The Vassar League, tough league, we still chasing it. And I think once we go to Vegas and we figure this thing all the way out, it's gonna be all right. It'll be a little fun to see what this team can do.
And Coach, going back to league, I mean, I know Arrowhead Christian has a pretty good squad, and I don't know about Linfield, but Linfield's usually got a pretty good team. I mean, kind of the Ambassador League, I think, is one of the better leagues for boys basketball in the area, because we got some really great programs right now.
Yes, and people have no idea, and I sit up there and I was telling some folks, I was like, a lot of kids get this thing where they said, okay, this little Christian league, they can't play in this league, and then they get here and they be like, whoa, okay, these guys playing, and then if you look at some of the track records, we knocking off some big schools, people have no idea, they're sitting there like, where you from? Aquinas, like Aquinas, but when you leave, everybody know who you are, and that's what it's all about.
Well, I would assume just based on the last couple of seasons, when people see Aquinas on the tournament schedule or wherever the case may be, they'll be like, oh yeah, we know about Aquinas now. Like we know about their championships and the kind of teams that they've had. I would assume people know about Aquinas at this point.
But, they do, but they still give us that look like, we still, we can get them, and that's fine. That's fine, because like I tell everybody, we're not gonna run from a game. If we have a game, we're gonna play. And that is what it is. If we knock you off, we knock you off. We get beat, we're gonna have to hold our head up and go back in the drawing board. I see you again somewhere down the line.
Well, Coach, last question. I see the Christmas tree behind you. So you're so busy this time of year, going to tournaments, going to Las Vegas for another tournament coming up. When do you have time to do all the Christmas ornaments and the tree and Christmas presents and wrapping the presents?
Hey, that's why it's a blessing when you have a family. All my kids are grown, and my wife and my daughters, they set up all the trees, and I just do my part, whatever it is. My wife get on my case about Christmas shop. When you gonna have time? When you have time to do this? So I'm gonna have to find it. Sometime this week, I'm gonna have to do what I got to do and get it done before I be sleeping outside or something.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Not at all.
Well, Coach, I know it's a very busy time of the year, but I did want to get you on the show just to say at least congratulations on the Capo Valley Christian Championship. And I know the Tarkanians, another big deal coming up. So thank you for making time for me. I really do appreciate it. Congrats on the strong start this year.
All right. Thank you so much, Fred. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Sure. That is David Johnson, the head boys basketball coach for your Aquinas Falcons. All right, so best of luck to Coach Johnson and the Falcons as they go to the tournament, the Tarkanian in Las Vegas. Make sure you hit subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel so you don't miss upcoming shows and segments right here on Sports Weekly. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we will see you next time.